At first, I thought you were complimenting me. No, sadly not.
This hotline you may want to call, depending on how you feel about Bill and I. You could call Bill to report Bill. You could call to report me.
As
Colorado.
being hot? No, that's not
yeah, no.
That boat has sailed long ago for me.
Colorado launching a platform to report misconduct. By the homeless? Nope. By lawmakers? Nope. By federal officers. The dream of living in a progressive wasteland continues, where we're going to put our efforts towards reporting federal law enforcement officers. Yay, Attorney General Phil Weiser says the new online tool is about keeping our community safe. I'm not going to let the irony spill out too much on the guy that won't arrest you until you have your third stolen car, but he's deeply motivated to keep our community safe now from federal law enforcement officers. All right, we'll get to this. By the way, I think it was Joan that was texting me earlier about what happened when they had the mask reporting hotline, and people would call in and say that there's somebody next door. Yeah, here it is. Jefferson County Health Department had a tip line to report on your neighbors during COVID about how they weren't following the rules. The tip line was taken down within 24 hours because people were calling to report their neighbors were wearing nothing but the mask. Oh, Americans, I love you. All right, we'll get into this. Is this an important aspect of limited government? We're holding those federal officers accountable. Or is this just progressives continuing to get wrong who they seek to hold accountable? If you steal a car, you rob somebody, you deal drugs, well, we're going to make sure that you get out on the street as quickly as possible. But if you're a federal law enforcement officer, we're going to make sure we hold you accountable to the fullest extent of the law. Now it's time for the news.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Good Thursday morning, 19 and sunny in Denver, expecting a high of 39 today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story.
Great. They're friends of mine, I think. Let me see. Yeah, every one of them is a friend of mine. A couple I like, a couple I don't like. No, I like, actually, this group, I like every single one of them. Can you believe it? Usually I have about 2 or 3 that I can't stand.
The President's Board of Peace is official, and DJT wrapping up his trip to Davos today after making major foreign policy moves, setting the tone for the rest of the world. Wednesday, he announced we would not use military force to bring Greenland under U.S. control, and instead DJT says that the framework of a favorable deal was being worked out. 47 on Fox News this morning.
We will have everything we want. We're getting everything we want at no cost.
So the Golden Dome will be on Greenland?
A piece of it, yes, and it's a very important part because everything comes over Greenland. If the bad guys start shooting, it comes over Greenland. So we knock it down. It's pretty infallible. It's amazing. You know, Ronald Reagan had the idea a long time ago, but we didn't have any technology at that point. The concept was great, but there was no technology. Now we have unbelievable technology. I mean, virtually 100%.
So what are we talking about? An acquisition of Greenland? Are you going to pay for it?
We're talking about it. It's really being negotiated now, the details of it, but essentially it's total access. It's there's no end. There's no time limit.
And he's leaving. Susan Kokenda breaking down the past 2 days in Davos, DJT versus the globalists like Mark Carney, the Prime Minister from Canada.
And this is where the Greenland story exposes the lie. They strut around Davos claiming moral superiority against an unprincipled United States, but their system, The system of the British Crown and the other European empires, repackaged as the EU, is anti-human to its core. Denmark's treatment of Greenland proves that their view of population hasn't changed. Whether it's forced sterilization or the deindustrialization of Germany, or the suppression of economic development in Africa, or endless wars in the Mideast and Europe, it's all the same. Less people, less growth, less life. Carney calls this a rupture. Well, he's right. It is a rupture from their system of death. And thank God Donald Trump came along to be the disruptor.
And the FBI has arrested one of the paid protesters, one of the commies who invaded the church in Minneapolis. They've arrested Nakima Levy-Armstrong, who allegedly played a key role in organizing the freak show as Don Lemon, the fruitcake, captured it all and promoted it.
How are you? Good to see you. They're getting the operation together. Again, this is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show.
Oh, great.
There are for this reason, it may look like MAGA coded, but there's a reason they have so many white people here. I'm just going to be honest. It's because of the operation that they're doing today. It's important to have allies, as they said, white allies here.
He is stoned out of his mind, evidently. All the frauds. They are all frauds. And now one of them, Levy Armstrong, has been arrested. They just want chaos. That's all they want. Former special counsel Jack Smith, if that's his real name, testifying publicly today before the House Judiciary Committee, answering questions about all the lies he concocted about the president and J6. Alleged mishandling of classified documents. You remember that. And obtained 2 indictments against DJT, but dropped the cases after 47 won a second term. Thank God. You know he's lying, Jack Smith, when his lips are moving. Broncos with a big practice today in preparation for Sunday's AFC Championship game against the Patriots at Mile High, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Bo Nix, he spoke for the first time, says that he has confidence in Jarrett Stidham. And here's Stidham talking on Wednesday after practice.
This is not about myself. First of all, I want to, obviously my thoughts and prayers have been with Bo since Saturday night. I mean, it's crushing because he's one of my best friends. And Sam and I were talking about this. Like, Sam and I probably spend more time with him than his wife does right now. And that's just the nature of the business that we're in. My heart goes out to him and, everything that he means to this team, because obviously we wouldn't be in this position without Bo. And, I just want to go. I know all of us on offense, and I know the whole team, we want to go out there and make them proud.
Rallying behind Stiddy. Stiddy's time coming up this weekend. The Avs on the ice last night, and they lose to the Ducks in overtime shootout, 2-1 the final. 17 in Lone Tree, 18 in Westminster, 19 in Denver. You were waking up with Jeff and Billy on a Thursday. Blake Olson, News Talk 710 KNUS.
The Arctic Express is going to graze the Front Range and Eastern Plains of Colorado here late this week and over the weekend. Be prepared for some winter temperatures, but not for today. We're going to be mid to upper 40s, upper 30s tomorrow, and teens tonight. The cold air begins to leak in Thursday night. Much colder. Lows 5 to 10 with areas of flurries. Very cold Friday, cold northeast winds, highs only teens with some areas of light snow. Some areas of light snow, lows near 0 Friday night, high Saturday only teens with areas of light snow. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
Does Phil Weiser have a snitch line? Or is this an important aspect of keeping our federal officers accountable? Denver Post reporting, Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser rolled out a new online platform for residents to report misconduct. by federal officers on Wednesday amid growing public concern about overreach and violence by the Trump administration's immigration enforcement agents. Oh, gosh. All right. Denver Post can't even get it right the first paragraph. You know, the whole reason that it's difficult for ICE to go out there and capture these guys is because of these sanctuary state and city policies that basically release them back out. So these are, and many times, violent criminals with terrible pasts, child rapists and others that have deportation orders, and these weak on crime policies that we see throughout these blue states and blue cities just release them back out. And ICE agents have to go get them. They can't just go to the jail and pick them up. And you've seen it here in Denver where they push them out the front door and ICE has got to chase them around. Weiser's office has already received at least 180 complaints over the last year about misconduct by federal officers in Colorado, says the spokesman. But the new online tool will streamline the process of reporting such crimes. The move comes 2 weeks after a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer had shot and killed Renee Good. In Colorado, federal officers have raided apartment complexes, are going door to door asking residents about their legal status, and arrested immigrants at courthouses. The new online platform solicits reports of actions by federal agents that may be unlawful or harmed you. Though submitters are cautioned that entering a complaint does not guarantee state authorities will investigate or act on the allegations. The information you share will assist in our efforts to ensure federal accountability, identify and better understand issues, document concerns, and detect patterns of potential misconduct by federal agents. Each complaint will be reviewed, Weiser said in a news release. Nobody is above the rule of law, including federal agents such as ICE or Border Patrol. The new reporting form is about keeping our community safe. I just want to read that again. The efforts here by the guy that said he will arrest you after your third stolen car is implementing this reporting efforts to keep our community safe and remind people that we have their back. If you see misconduct from a federal agent, we want to hear about it. I want to go back to what I generally say about the left when it comes to crime. Look, I don't care that you want to keep people accountable. I love the fact that you want to keep people accountable. I just find it weird that in Colorado you can rape a child and get put out on probation. And when Republicans and moderate Democrats tried to fix that, you cared so deeply about how a child rapist might be treated in prison that you refused to change the law. So you come out there with these grandiose statements. We are about keeping our community safe. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not about keeping our community safe. It's a constant battle. And when someone has a valid deportation order, you push them out the front door and make ICE chase them around a parking lot. How is that keeping communities safe? But no. Federal agents, we are bringing about an entirely new system that you can do to quickly report misconduct by federal agents. Here's the website, complaints.coag.gov. Complaints.coag.gov. Bill, what's your take on this?
I can't figure out how this works. I can't. This to me just seems like I don't know. Again, okay, the easiest way to put it is go back to what I had said early in the show. This is the absolute least amount of work that the Colorado AG's office and Colorado law enforcement and Colorado politicians could put into this issue that they are claiming. They're saying that ICE enforcement can get out of hand, sometimes can cross the line, and their solution is to set up a phone line. We don't even know if the phone line is manned by humans. It would be super embarrassing if it's a call center out of India or Pakistan. That would be super embarrassing that you're not employing Coloradans. But chances are it's more of a phone voicemail system setup. So understand this, okay? So, and Jeff, I think, this is the idea here. We're going to kind of do the Jeff and Bill players. And this is kind of a play along. So our audience here can imagine what it is like inside the room where we're having the meeting that we're talking about how we can do this. So, Jeff, I just need you for a second here to play along with me. And let's just pretend to be politicians. Maybe we're in the AG's office or wherever. We're just anonymous at this point. And we're in this big meeting. And we are super, super mad about what we're going to do because ICE agents are obviously, because we're assuming this, obviously they're abusing our constituents and what we're going to do. And finally, and Jeff, we're in this meeting and I see your hand pop up in the back, and I say, yes, you, sir, you have an idea. And your suggestion is?
Phone line.
Oh, my God, you're brilliant. Give that man a promotion. Oh, my God. And I'm getting so excited because now we, as this meeting of Brain Trust, have created a solution in which we don't have to do a damn thing. We can tell the man over there that raised his hand in the back to go and set up the phone line. That'll take him 5 minutes. We've got an extension we're not using because we fired a bunch of people because our budget's all crap. So, one of those people that got fired. Let's just change the extension and reroute it that way and then re-record the voicemail message. Done. Ha! All right, let's go play golf. That's it. That is the least amount of work. That is the least amount of thought. That is the least amount of help you could possibly give someone. Imagine this. Someone's breaking into your home and you call a voicemail message. Yeah, not going to be help. No help there. No help there. No, it's really helpful if they send the people to stop the home from being broken in like the police. Or if the house is on fire, they don't ask you to just report it and then we'll get back to you later. The fire department shows up. If we're worried about this, there are mechanisms in place to report this. And you know what? Most people right now are carrying around this thing in their hand. The cell
camera.
Phone. They're on, and most people are carrying around a cell phone.
Tweet to Kyle Clark,
yes.
and he would love it. Are you kidding me?
You could tweet to Two Better Denver. You could tweet to anybody. You could tweet to the governor's office. The issue is that all of us have a recording device. Okay, and again, I am assuming all of us. So I'm just going to say most of us. Most of us have a recording device that can do audio and visual that we are carrying around in our pocket. Please explain to me why we need to leave a voicemail message somewhere. Have any of you listening to the Jeff and Bill show ever had some sort of a consumer complaint and you dialed a phone number, they asked you to leave a voice message and you said, well, took care of that today, knocked that off the list? Felt good about that afterwards? No! Again, this is why it is asinine and stupid, because those in charge, and I'm looking at you, Phil Weiser, thought that the best way to enact this, the best way, if you think this is a real threat, the best way to combat it is a stupid voicemail. Come on. Bill, if you think this is a real issue, do something.
Well, what if I submitted a report about Phil Weiser?
Exactly.
Here's what I'm wondering.
Yep.
If the new reporting form is about keeping our community safe, reminding people that you have their back, and addressing misconduct.
Yep.
Well, why wouldn't I just submit Phil Weiser as a violation of that?
Think you could. And why wouldn't we also submit Jenna Griswold for exposing BIOS passwords? Why wouldn't we do that?
That's misconduct.
Why couldn't we report the first gentleman for putting dangerous wolves in our midst?
Misconduct.
I know.
And our communities aren't safe anymore.
Why couldn't we, call the line because some city like Aurora had a city councilman that was through more than 3 times over the legal limit going down the street behind the wheel of a car.
Community safety and misconduct.
Yes, when they seem to have a sober driver in the car with them. That seems to be putting community at risk. How come we can't report that one? Bill, see, this is the asinine thing about it. It is the path of least resistance. They put out paper window dressing to make you feel like they've done something when actually they've done nothing at all. We don't even know how often these messages are checked. We don't know who's looking into them. And I'm going to tell you universally, I like mischief makers. Universally, any form of an open tip line is ripe for abuse for people just like me. I'm the type of person that would call and give you a dumb tip about how Phil Weiser doing this. Phil Weiser is smuggling illegal aliens in, because I think it's stupid and I'm going to force you to listen to it. Yes, this is dumb. If you want a perfect example of our politicians that are in charge doing the absolute least while claiming to do the absolute best, here you go.
Well,
Example number one.
I think it's worse than that.
Please
I
explain.
appreciate that, but I'm going to continue to say this.
Yeah.
That progressives are criminal first, and that the worst thing you can do in their mind is actually try to enforce the law. You see it on the child rapist stuff, where we're going, 70% of child rapists in Colorado get probation. 70%. Let's try to address that, fix it. Whoa, no. Mr. Hunt, you need to think about the feelings and well-being of the child rapist, because they might be harmed in jail. And you sit there and you're like, what? Meanwhile, Phil Weiser sues the president over 50 times and now puts together this misconduct by federal agents reporting website where you can go and fill out all these terrible things, all the terrible things these federal agents are going to do. And they're going to comb through it. And you mess up this much, we are going to bring the whole weight of the judicial system down on you. You rape a child, and I care about the rapist's feelings. It's the same. It's always the same thing with these libs. It's always criminal first, law enforcement second. It's the same people out there that want to defund ICE, have a Tiananmen Square moment where they're going to fight ICE. They actually hate law enforcement. And law enforcement only becomes a tool for the left to prosecute their political opponents. Example number one, Donald Trump's mugshot. That's where they're willing to use law enforcement to go after political opponents. But to actually keep people safe, no, that's secondary. Well, join the conversation. Would love to hear from you. And I would so love people to fill out this form with Phil Weiser as the person they're concerned with. Give us a call, 303-696-1971. Text us on the Dan Capitalist Law text line, 720-819-5115. Let's talk modern, rugged leather. This is beautiful. It's the bag I carry around. From city streets to mountain trails, your gear should go wherever life takes you. That's why at Modern Rugged Leather, every bag is handcrafted from premium, responsibly sourced leather, designed to look sharp, last long, and tell a story of its own. Each stitch, buckle, and strap reflects timeless craftsmanship and is backed by a lifetime warranty, because quality shouldn't quit when the adventure begins. Whether it's the boardroom or the back roads, Modern Rugged Leather helps you carry confidence every step of the way. Modern Rugged Leather, modern style, timeless durability, backed for life. This is, guys, I'm honest about this. This is the most beautiful leather bag I've ever owned. Life takes you places. Make sure your gear keeps up. Shop the full collection and find yours today at modernrugged.com. Modernrugged.com. Again, that's modernrugged.com. Phone calls, texts, hot. We'll get to them next. Phil Weiser's got a Fed NARC website you can go to. Give him a call. NARC on those feds. Is he standing for limited government or justice, or just another example of the defund the police? Everyone's in law enforcement is the enemy, and we're always going to be on criminals first, liberal mentality. We'll continue. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710, KNUS.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. Headline from the Denver Post: Colorado launches platform to report misconduct by federal officers. If you go to complaints.coag.gov, complaints.coag.gov, misconduct by federal agents. You go through and fill this out. Please describe your concerns and provide a summary of the incident, including the federal agent or agency involved and the date and time of the incident. Please note whether the federal agent or agency took steps to conceal their identity. Examples of potentially unlawful activity by federal agents may include, but are not limited to, excessive force, unlawful searches and arrests, wrongful detentions, interference with voting. What? Or other civil rights violations.
Huh? What? Okay.
Your mail-in ballot. Are they out there grabbing the ballot? And we got this out of your mailbox. Rip up.
That's kind of funny. I'm sorry, but there's there's something there with some sort of a Saturday Night Live-esque skit of putting some, like highly tactical dressed ICE agents in bushes with masks and covered, and sitting there in the bushes in front of a library near the drop box. And then when someone comes up, and they obviously can't be holding just one or two, it's got to be like, they got to be holding like 50 ballots, walking up, and they're going to drop it in. And yeah, there's something there. I haven't quite workshopped it, but there's something there.
I think you're right, but I mean, just type in Jenna Griswold.
I know.
She released the passwords. She interfered with voting.
That's what people need to do. There it is. They've interfered with voting. That's the phone call people need to make.
You can submit photographs of the incident. Please note that they need to be smaller than 10 megabytes.
And not necessarily real. Just saying. There are possibilities here, people.
Submit up to 5 videos of the incident. Please upload to a third-party video site such as YouTube, Vimeo, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and provide the direct link to the content and a brief description of the nature of the video.
That's weird. It's almost like you just send that to the police department themselves. I'm just saying that you could easily just open up an email and send it to the department. Again, the idea of creating this special tip line is absolutely stupid because it's the least amount of care and work they in charge could possibly do.
Ooh, you can submit it anonymously. I'm going through this. Oh, but they want to know your demographic information. Oh,
again, how would they know?
They want to know if you're white or not.
That's fantastic. It'd be even better if there's an immigrant click there, too. Immigrant, yes, no.
Are you retired military? Prefer not to answer? Oh, I can opt out of this. Okay, do not wish to participate with my demographic information.
There we go.
Please review and acknowledge and confirm your complaint. I hereby certify I am the above listed individual. I have reviewed the proceedings information and is true to the best of my knowledge. What do you think happens if you
just nothing?
So I pretty much left it blank.
Nothing.
And I put in what were the agencies. I wrote feds.
Yeah. I wouldn't even click the I certify anything. I'd just submit it, see what happens. And even if you certify, well.
Yeah, let's see if I don't acknowledge.
Yeah. And even if it is one of those clicks.
Oh, they're telling me.
Well,
you
then
must
click
approve and
just
acknowledge.
Okay, the click and acknowledge. Here's the idea. At the worst, submitting this would be what?
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, a misdemeanor. That's a misdemeanor. Might be a little bit of a fine, but again, it's just, the idea is it's stupid. I mean, it is absolutely a stupid.
You going to pay
idea.
This fine? What happens if I get fined?
We'll hold a Jeff and Bill bake sale. That's what we'll do. We'll go out in the parking lot and we'll raise money. Say we got to pay Jeff's fine. Yeah, we'll do it out in the parking lot. We'll do it live on the air. We'll do a remote. We'll bring our buddies from Black Eyed Pea out here for breakfast in the morning. It'll be great. That's exactly what we're gonna do.
Pay the fine to Phil Watson. You can steal a car. He's not gonna let you. He's not gonna prosecute you, but you submit a.
Yeah, submit a fake thing to a stupid tip line. I love that. Shout out to the texter. That's the best one of the morning. Good job. Yes.
That's
the
it?
idea.
What did the texter say?
Oh, it was the idea that, stealing the car. You can steal the car and he won't care, but you can go ahead and, you submit a bad tip. Oh. And if they did come after you and said, you submitted something late on the text line, you go, oh, sorry. That was incorrect. I actually stole a car. Are we good now? Now you can go and leave because this is just my first car I stole this week. This is just silly.
Well, I don't want to give the full reference number, but if they're doing reference numbers like as they grow,
Yeah.
there'd be 55,000.
Hey, that'd be fantastic. That would be wonderful.
Someone's got to sit here and go through Phil Weiser's.
Yeah. And the idea is, the part of me is, there have been some things that I've been involved with on radio stations where it's like they set up a voicemail and ask people to call in and do certain things like, hey, tell us about blah, blah, blah. Over 70% of what you receive is crap. Just because either it's not complete, it's not usable, it's not applicable to what we're doing. It just doesn't work. It is the least amount of work and the worst way to cultivate this type of information.
Ooh.
It's just dumb.
Text message: false reporting to authorities is a prosecutable offense in Colorado. Will Phil prosecute those cases generated by the tip line?
Yes, please do, because they're going to be tens of thousands. Just gum yourself up with that. Yes, and you run for governor. Run for governor with the idea that most of our time in my office has been prosecuting people that called in and gave us silly tips. Oh yeah, be the law and order candidate that way. That's going to get a lot of votes. Yeah, you wanna see a way that you can elect a Republican governor? Yeah, get Phil Weiser to run on that platform. I'm prosecuting those people that had the temerity
child
to call
rapist.
Yeah, no. Steal a car.
Theft?
No,
Cadillac converter theft.
Yeah, no. Fentanyl.
Hey, record fentanyl.
Yeah. Fentanyl, schmetanyl. Who cares? Yeah. You call our tip line with a silly tip. We're going to bring the full weight. The Colorado.
That's kind of my point on this stuff.
I know.
Phil will do that.
That is the stupid thing.
Text message: the problem with Phil's approach is that now it creates follow-up questions like, what have you done with all the complaints? Please disclose all of the complaints. There is no privileged communication with the Attorney General's office when it comes to making complaints. So you could FOIA these, I think, or whatever it's called in Colorado.
Wow, that could be interesting. Yeah, just FOIA them and see what we get. I can't. I'm so frustrated this hour, and I keep coming back to it. This is the best you could do. Like we did the pretend meeting earlier, Jeff. I've been in radio meetings when we are trying to execute something and we're trying to get some sort of a thing happening on air or some sort of a live event. And there's universally someone in the room goes, we could set up a tip line, we could set up a phone line and they could call us. And you're like, God, you're not helping. Shut up. That doesn't help at all. It's not going to get us anywhere close to where we need to be.
I just keep going back to the fact that you have a media that is like salivating over any video,
because
anything right now. Like this thing would shoot the moon and be on CNN tonight.
Oh yeah, it would.
You know, the ACLU's gonna airdrop in, special forces.
Think about this. My friend. Okay, let's just say that just for fun, it's me. It's just talk show host, build it on my Instagram or whatever the hell it is. And I find the video to end all videos of ICE just grabbing this person, obviously an American citizen, and just laying the smack down. Just doing all the stuff. Anything that you can see would be out of bounds. They're doing all of that, and I've got it in all its glory. There on my video. Am I sending it in this day and age anonymously to the police? Or am I posting it on my social media to go viral and tag the police in it so they eventually see it? What is most likely going to be the motivation of anybody who runs into this type of video footage or some sort of audio that has this? The motivation in our society is not to present it anonymously to law enforcement. The motivation is to present it to the public on social media because you can benefit financially from that. You can go viral. Right. You can get more followers. You can all of a sudden turn your channel into something that would maybe pay you a little bit of money, even if it's only a little bit of money. You can get thousands, if not tens of thousands of brand new followers simply because you place that video on your social media. What in the world is my motivation to anonymously give it to the police at this point? There isn't a single reason to do that.
Right, exactly. And think, too, about all the wasted efforts that's going to be put into this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, for instance, this was a discussion I was having with a friend last night. oftentimes when there's like a complaint against ICE, like there's this like brutality against ICE, I'll go and watch the original video. So I'll listen to the person go, they were terrible. They never gave me any warning. They broke the windows and dragged me out, and I have a brain issue, and I was just trying to get to a doctor's appointment. I'm like, whoa, I am so sorry. Like, that sounds terrible. And then I go watch the video, and I'm like, you little nitwit. You sat there for 3 or 4 minutes while they were telling you to move. You blew your little whistle. You honked. You were clearly impeding a lawful law enforcement operation. You were the one being the dope. And, they drug you out of there because, as we've seen with other videos, people were willing to hit ICE agents with cars. So they drug you out of there. So there's just so much over-exaggeration that's happening right now. And, I guess part of my frustration, too, is with the media where you've got, you can't trust it. You've got to go spend your own time digging up actual videos. I saw a mom, they tear gassed our car with our infant in it. And it was terrible. And then video comes back to show they were out there protesting for 45 minutes, hadn't been by the car at all. Kid was by himself in the car for 45 minutes, and they were being agitators. But then the CNN shows up with the camera. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how terrible it was. You were just going to a doctor's appointment, and I pulled you out of the car. No, you were actually interfering with operations. So, Phil Weiser's going to get inundated, not only by these false claims, because people hate narcs and are going to abuse the tip line, but with people that over-exaggerate. And the Attorney General's office, with all these crime problems, with record fentanyl being popped, is going to have to devote a bunch of times to somebody that was exaggerating and interfering themselves and then ran off to Phil Weiser's little tip line. Said the ICE guys were so mean to me.
Yeah. Explain to me that the highest level of what they need to do as far as prosecutions are people that left silly messages on the tip line. That just, as far as an organization of priorities, that is going to be hard to make the case. And that, again, is why I say this is stupid. Because there are reporting mechanisms that already exist. If you wanted to contact the police department, and you could even do it anonymously if needed to. How would you do that? I don't know. Maybe you'd set up a brand new Gmail account that you've never had before today, and then you send them the stuff and then delete it afterwards. I mean, again, there are avenues. You don't even need to give
personal information.
Yeah, you don't even have to. And that's the thing, is that this is just a placebo. This is something that the liberal leadership in Colorado thinks that you, the listeners to the Jeff and Bill show, aren't smart enough to figure out that it really is nothing. It doesn't do anything. It really isn't going to be effective. And it is going to create a lot more busy work for people that probably should have, and probably they would agree with us, have better things to do.
Joan from Lakewood saying, I wish somebody would pull me out of the car when I'm on the way to the doctor's appointment.
I think, well, if the valet does that, they don't get a tip. I'm just saying.
0650. It's the new snitching since COVID. Absolutely ridiculous tip line.
Yes. The COVID tip line was stupid. Okay. There's a theme here. I think tip lines, by and large, are stupid. I just do.
That I was going to say.
Yeah, by and large, I think they are.
In Bill's world, snitches get stitches.
Well, I also think they're somewhat ineffective, that there are other mechanisms that are in place in order to do that. I do think there might be a role for that. And there are things like the tip lines at school and stuff like that for someone that, as far as you hearing something that may be a threat, only because inside of that ecosystem of a school, peer pressure can be dominant, and you don't want, and Again, I have educators in my family, and I'm going to tell you, sometimes they aren't the most strategic and tactful when going through information like this. They may actually expose the kid's identity, and the kid wanted to not have everybody else know that he was the one that was snitching. So in those cases, I can see a role. Do I think they're super effective? Not necessarily, but I can see a role. But in these type of public-facing tip lines, I think they are phenomenally stupid, and most of the time a complete waste of time and resources. It makes the people in charge feel good because they did absolutely the least work possible. How long would it take anybody here listening to the show to set up a new voicemail today? Yep, that's all the work they did to combat this. Set up a new voicemail.
Feel free to call this tip line.
Please do.
You ready? You can be a fool on the entire radio broadcast across the city of Denver.
Yes.
303-696-1971. Or text us on the Dan Caplis Law text line 720-819-5115. Speaking of Danny C., Dan suggests that you should choose a lawyer who shares your values because who you choose to represent you in an injury case says a lot about you to everyone involved in the case. Dan Caplis is the son of a police officer and a former seminarian. Dan has dedicated the last 40 years of his life to helping people who've been hurt in serious motor vehicle crashes. Dan is believed to be the only lawyer in Colorado history to win 5 straight multi-million-dollar verdicts in Colorado crash cases. Dan is also believed to have won the largest truck crash verdict in Colorado state history. Dan Caplis Law, the official law firm partner of the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche. Dan Caplis Law is a serious firm for serious cases. Dan accepts righteous injury cases on a percentage fee basis so that he can represent good people from all walks of life without regard to ability to pay. So if you need Dan's help, give him a call. Here's the phone number, 303-770-5551, 303-770-5551, or hit dancaplisLaw.com. That's Dan, C-A-P-L-I-S Law.com. Crestmore, Jeff, you can F right off with that line about the infant that was tear gassed for being left alone by her parents who were protesting. That's not true. No, there's reputable sources that have shown the opposite of that. In fact, the parents were out there protesting for 45 minutes and were agitators. They were not just simply driving by. So, I mean, this is part of the problem, is like, you have to go out there and do all your own research these days. All right, join the conversation. Love to hear from you. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710, KNUS.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. Cap Hill Phil texted in, presumably you couldn't report any state-level politicians because this is a hotline to report federal officials. Well, the Phil Weiser hotline is only regarding federal officials and goes to him. He's the arbiter of this. Remember that. The guy who sued the president 50-plus times is the one reading those emails. So I'm guessing if you were frustrated about the direction of our state lawmakers, say, I don't know, driving drunk, killing themselves.
Yeah.
Driving drunk with their stepson in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know, passing laws that are terrible and threaten your constitutional rights. No. And in fact, if you're someone like Jack Phillips, the AG's office is going to come after you. So, again, a lot of energy and effort towards the, quote, misconduct of federal officers, not the misconduct of our elected officials.
And just a side note, Phil, when you're talking about Phil Weiser and what they're doing there, I wanted to talk, Jeff, about just bringing back a little bit of an experience we had yesterday at the National Western Stock Show, something that you and I stumbled upon, and I'm using that word figuratively and literally there in the expo, where I didn't know, but it was amazing to see they had the Rob Anderson driving simulator that was there. Rob Anderson's driving simulator. It was fantastic, and I didn't know that it was going to be. It's amazing that they got that thing set up so quickly and so appropriate, and it was fantastic. It was Colorado. It was CDOT that was there, and maybe the sign didn't exactly say the Rob Anderson driving simulator, but it was about drunk driving, where you could sit inside of an Acura, and they had a screen on there, and then it would behave as if you were drunk. And if you see the video that Jeff and I did, I got drunk goggles on, and so I was pretending to do the sobriety test as if I was Rob Anderson there.
It is kind of funny when you see how it distorts you. Like,
totally. Yeah, and I'm so
your entire
off
eyeball set is off to the left.
It is. I in those pictures where I'm wearing the goggles, I look as crazy as I sound most days. It's absolutely just googly-eyed, and I didn't know, but it was, yes, we found the Rob Anderson driving instructor, that was set up there at the National Western Stock Show. You can go down there and you can see it, but we'll simulate what happens if you are drunk. However, the problem is the simulator can't simulate that much alcohol. Can't get up that high as where he was. It does it lower. That's a problem there. So they got to use the technology next year to get it better.
Well, what's really causing homelessness in Colorado? We're going to talk with Dustin Zvonek of the Common Sense Institute out next on a bombshell report that looks at what's really driving the homelessness. Is it crime? Is it drugs? Is it rent prices? How do they all work together? And why do we have to constantly deal with this chronic homelessness in our state? Is there something that can be actually done to address it? Some key findings coming from the great folks at Common Sense Institute, a nonpartisan think tank, kind of that just the facts, man, type of stuff, So you're not going to want to miss this. And we may even ask Dustin Zvonek about the direction of the Aurora City Council, since he sat on the Aurora City Council at some point here. So lots to come up in the next hour. You're not going to want to miss it. Text messages continue to be hot. Cap Hill Phil. Answering machines will save the state.
Yeah, that's the
That's
thing.
to your point, Bill. Right
yes,
there.
that's exactly it. Answering machines, people. Just yes. If we only had a tip line. Oh gosh, that's maybe Colorado wouldn't have the budget problems we would have. If we only had a tip line. If only the legislators would have been smart enough to set up a tip line when we got all that COVID money and just took suggestions of what we should have done with it. Then maybe everything would have. No, that's why this is stupid. That's why this is stupid. And while I'm not encouraging you to make false reports, I hope everybody enjoys the tip line. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Just be creative.
Be creative.
Yes.
Phil Weiser launching a platform to report misconduct by federal officers. And to the great text messenger's point, I'm excited to see how many reports, prosecutions, come out of this. What's your over-under on that, Bill?
Yeah. Jeez. Very few. I'm thinking I would be surprised if it is over 10. I would be surprised personally.
Prosecutions.
Yes, prosecutions.
Oh, man.
And what I mean, and what I'm saying by prosecutions is I'm saying legit prosecutions of federal officials for doing whatever, actual legit prosecutions coming out of this tip line. And it has to be directly out of the tip line. And that's why I say maybe 10 at most, because I still think that if you have this information, you are going to make it available a lot of other ways before you ever go to the tip line.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think with so many liberal organizations, so much liberal media just salivating, just
social media.
Give us one guy that doesn't stop at a stop sign, and we're going to blow it up.
Yeah. How often have you seen a liberal farmer in the last couple of days? Jesus.
Right. You're listening to Jeff and Bill.
KNUS.